Hi guys, it's Joe here. So before we start this review, I just want to give you a quick spoiler alert. So there will definitely be spoilers from last night's episode of Gotham, and also possibly from season 1, because I might need to do it to explain something, or just because it pops into my head and I remember it. Also, if you're watching in a different country or you've already watched past episode 1, please don't post spoilers in the comments, because I haven't watched past episode 1 because I'm waiting to see it on channel 5 as the rest of the UK viewers do, and also because other people might not have watched the rest of the season. So just fair warning now that there will be spoilers past this point. So if you haven't watched it yet or you're not all caught up, I'd go away and come back and then watch this video afterwards, or if you're not that bothered, continue watching the video. Okay, so Gotham Season 2 kicked off in the UK last night on Channel 5 with Season 2, Episode 1, Damned If You Do. Now the title itself is quite interesting, I think, because a lot of the characters actually wrestled with their self-doubts. So the saying, damned if you do, damned if you don't, was quite, it ran quite a way through the episode. So a lot of the characters had their own personal qualms with themselves that was kind of like, well, if I make this decision, will this be the right one or the wrong one? So I'm going to do a bit more in-depth analysis into that, and I'm also going to do a bit more about each individual character and the storylines running throughout episode 1. Okay, so in each review I'm going to start off by having a review in my overall review in 5 words or under. So my 5 words or under this week is only 4 words, and it's good but not great. So episode 1 for me felt a little bit rushed. I think the story, because they carried it on straight away from the end of season 1. So season 1 episode 22 ended with Bruce Wayne and Alfred finding this kind of secret doorway in their fireplace, or behind the fireplace, that led down into this mysterious kind of dark cavern. We didn't know what was down there until last night's episode, but I'll come on to that a bit more in a minute. So I just don't know, I just think it felt a bit rushed. They just suddenly, like, they started off in the same place and then skipped a month, so that was a bit of a weird way of going about it. But nevertheless, it was still a good episode. So on to the characters then. So the first character I want to look at is Jim Gordon's story. Now, I didn't really understand where they'd gone with it, because suddenly he was demoted to Officer Gordon in a month, and it was a bit of a weird, step down from detective to officer. And they didn't really give you much explanation as to why. I assume it's because of the results of the mob war, but that's a bit of a weird way if you haven't seen season 1 in a while. And then he got fired because he stopped a criminal from killing some people, which I think just to me is a bit silly. But Commissioner Loeb, I've never really liked him because he was on fire Jim Gordon this time. But they've done it before, so they fired him before, so it was obvious that he was going to get back onto the GCPD. And I like his personal battle with the damned if you do, damned if you don't bit was kind of working out whether he should or shouldn't carry out Penguin's favour that Penguin wanted him to do in return for getting Jim back onto the police force. So that was a bit of a weird, it was quite a wonderful thing actually. It was quite good to watch Jim, who's been so sure up until this point of what he wants to do and how he wants to live his life, was suddenly thrown into this confusing whirlwind of, essentially, what do I do now? It was quite good to see the central character a bit, how do I go from here? So the second character I want to look at is Harvey Bullock, who was probably for me one of my favourite characters in season 1. He had so many good one-liners, and his storyline this time is a bit odd, because he's now no longer in the GCPD, and he's now working in a bar, and is sober, which to me just seems a bit weird, because Harvey Bullock never seemed a massive alcoholic, but he's now sober apparently. He says the job did it to him. So I don't know whether he wants to, I don't know if he's going to join the GCPD again. I mean, it could prove to be really interesting, but at the moment it's a little bit odd. So that was just my first initial view. He was only in it for about 1 scene, so you couldn't really gather much about the storyline. But other than that, it was quite good, his scene. So now we're going to look at the villains quickly. So there's quite a few villains in this second season so far. So first of all, the main villain I think at the moment is Penguin. So Penguin obviously ended season 1 with his "I'm the King of Gotham" cry, and that was such a riveting moment to watch him suddenly realise that he's got rid of all his other foes and he is now the leader of Gotham. And his presence already is so, it's really, I think it's such a good presence that he's got in this second season. He's such a good actor, Robin Lord Taylor. And I think the scene with him, Victor Zsasz and Commissioner Loeb was probably the tensest and the best scene of the episode. It was such a good scene to watch. Just the way that Penguin was going, you know, Victor Zsasz wanted to kill Loeb, and Penguin's going, well, yes, but not at the moment, just in case, you know, oh no, you'll never agree to this. And it was that kind of power play that I think Penguin's got now, and he's realising that with his power he can actually get, you know, he can gain something over the other, over essentially the most powerful leaders in the city. And that's really good to watch Penguin become that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do next week with him. Edward Nygma, so aka the Riddler, or he's starting to turn into Riddler now. He only had one scene last night, but it was brilliant. And Corey Michael Smith arguing with himself in the mirror is undoubtedly probably one of the best things I've ever seen on television, because he's got such a evil glare when he's playing the Riddler, but then his kind of his humane self is trying to stop this Riddler from coming through. He's trying to stop the Riddler from taking over his brain, and he wants, I think, genuinely to stop the Riddler from coming through, but he just can't manage it, and that's quite interesting to see him battle with himself. So I'd like to see more scenes like that coming through in the next few weeks, and I'm sure we will, because it's such a great storyline to pursue. On to Selina Kyle, one of my favourite characters in the first season. I thought her storyline was really developed by the end of season 1, and the way she transitioned into Fish Mooney's lackey almost was so cleverly done. But she only got 3 lines in this first episode. I think it was about 3 words she got to say, and for me that was just, it wasn't fulfilling for me, because she's such a good actress, and yet to be demoted to 3 lines or 3 words is a bit of a, you know, a bit of a hit and miss thing. But Lauren Beacon-Dover, the actress, is still listed as a season regular, so hopefully we will see more from her as we go throughout season 2. The Arkham storyline, now this is a fantastic addition, I think, to the regular storyline. So normally Arkham is kind of a taboo subject in Gotham, so we don't really talk about Arkham, apart from that one episode. We had a few episodes last season which you've mentioned it, but this season we got Barbara's locked up in Arkham following her attack on Leslie. Jerome is locked up in Arkham following his murder, essentially, of his mother. And there's so many other villains that are kind of coming out of Arkham. I think it's just, especially Barbara and Jerome are just brilliant characters to have, and I think having a criminal, you know, section. I mean, the second season has been dubbed Rise of the Villains, so I think seeing this rise of villains is brilliant. And Barbara's confession thing, I think, was really cleverly done. So when Theo and Tabitha, which I'll come back to later, broke them out of Arkham, and she said, you know, she turned around to him and she said, "Oh, yeah, I've got issues." But it was such a good, the way she delivers the lines is brilliant, and her phone call to Leslie was actually quite scary. The way she, you know, she just phoned up Leslie, Jim Gordon's girlfriend, and she said to him, you know, she just said, "Well, I hope you die screaming, bitch," and it was quite sinister the way she said it. You know, it was quite scary. But I'm really looking forward to seeing where this storyline goes. And hopefully we'll see some more chaos from this lot, because I really like Jerome as well. Jerome is such a fantastic actor. The person, I can't remember his name, but the person who plays Jerome is fantastic. So yeah, I really hope we see more from them. And yeah, as I just mentioned, Theo and Tabitha Gallivan. Now these two, I was a bit disappointed actually, because we were so, like, it was one of the main teasers for season 2, and I think we've had so much about them, and James Frayne is such a brilliant actor. And you know, he's playing Theo, and he was in it for 2 scenes, and Tabitha was only in it for 1, and I think, well, she was in it for 2 scenes, but they only managed about 5 minutes on screen, and I think that's quite a shame, because their characters could be potentially very interesting. So I think as we go through this second season, I think obviously because it's more serialised, we'll see them developed a bit more. I hope so anyway. and it's pretty much similar to Butch Gilzean as well. He was so good in season 1, and I feel like he was not used to his full potential last night. He literally had about 3 or 4 lines as well, and it was a bit kind of disappointing because, in my opinion, he single-handedly decided the future of Gotham by shooting both Fish and Penguin in episode 22 of season 1. And then it allowed Penguin to kill Fish Mooney, or supposedly kill her. But yeah, I think that's quite good. I think it's quite disappointing even, the way that they didn't use him to his full potential. Captain Essen. Now we're going to go back to the heroes again. So Captain Essen was promoted last night to Commissioner Essen, as Loeb has been fired from the GCPD at last. Now I've been waiting for a long time for this to come, and I've loved Captain Essen from episode 1. I think she's such a brilliant character. I mean, I know she's in the comic books, but the character in Gotham is really good. I've rooted for her from the start, and now she is Commissioner of the GCPD. I can't wait to see what she does with this. I can't wait to see what the writers have done with her being Commissioner. I think it'll be pretty much the same as when she was Captain, apart from she'll have a lot more responsibility, so there'll be a lot less problems in the GCPD. I think she's going to start sorting out with the help of Jim Gordon, so that'll be quite good. Okay, so finally then on the characters, Bruce and Alfred. Young Bruce Wayne is played brilliantly by David Mazouz, and Alfred is played by Sean Pertwee. So, I just really love the scenes with them, you know, because they were working together so much last night to try and get into this Batcave that we didn't know what was in it, and I think it was so interesting to kind of go along with them and feel the suspense of what's going to be behind this locked door that Bruce had to get into, because he thought, you know, he knew his father's secrets were down there. And then, you know, and his letter, when they got in eventually by blowing up the door, Thomas Wayne's letter to Bruce was so heartwarming, and it was actually quite sad at some points. I actually felt like I was completely connected to these characters, and you can almost imagine, I think with Bruce Wayne and Alfred Pennyworth, you almost feel like they're not actual characters, they're actually people. And you know, it's quite hard not to get swept along in this kind of, oh no, this is a 12-year-old boy or 14-year-old boy, whatever age, who's lost both his parents, and the only person he's got left in the world to be his friend, or you know, even to be a father figure to him, is his butler. And it was such a good episode. I think it was such a good episode for them, because this relationship between them is starting to develop a lot more, and it's really sweet to see how it's going to develop into Bruce eventually become Batman, and Alfred being probably the only person other than Jim Gordon who knows his secret. So yeah, that's good. I'm really looking forward to next week's episode with Bruce to find out how he reacts to his letter that he's found. So yeah, that's good. Just quickly as well, I want to say about the absence of Carmine Falcone, Salvador Maroni and Fish Mooney. So Fish Mooney and Maroni were killed in episode 22, season 1, all happy families alike. So Fish Mooney killed Maroni after their little babe's power talk, which I thought was hilarious and brilliantly acted and written. And then Fish Mooney was killed by Penguin later on in the episode by being thrown into a river. Now, there have been a few theories that Fish Mooney might actually be dead. I mean, Jada Pinkett Smith has not been written in, I don't think, for season 2, or at least we haven't been released any details yet about that. So she might not be dead. I'm hoping she's not, because I really hope she would be with us for 2 seasons at least, because she's such a brilliant actress and the character is really interesting. But of course we have to wait and see what the writers have done with that. So yeah, and also Falcone has retired and left Gotham, so we're kind of left with nobody to run Gotham. But we have, obviously, we've got Penguin, but the 2 main mob crime lords were a bit annoying. I really liked their kind of rivalry, you know, where one would attack and then the other would attack, and it was all very kind of, ooh, gritty, you know, it was all, well, what's going to happen next, who's going to do this, who's going to do that. But with Penguin in charge, it's quite satisfying, because he sits on his throne and he's brilliant as an actor, as already said. So yeah, hopefully Fish will be back, maybe season 3, if it happens, possibly, we hope so. So yeah, let me just finish off with my overall conclusion. So my overall conclusion is that it was a strong opening, despite it being a step down from episode 22. I think they tried too much with this episode, trying to set everything up again so they can just kind of build up this energy level so that we've got this massive kind of season that's going to be brilliant. And in my opinion, it's really good, but I just think there was something missing, and I couldn't quite work out what it is. But it's still going really well. I'm going to look forward to seeing. I look forward to seeing where they're going with it now. It's more serialised. But I do wonder whether, because we were so used to the police procedural drama that we'd been given for much of season 1 until like the last 4 episodes, whether we are ready for that change yet, or whether they should have built it up gradually. But either way, it's going to be brilliant. And I'm just going to give my overall rating is a 7 out of 10 for season 2, episode 1. Damned if you do. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Post any comments and make sure you like and subscribe. Also, I will be doing, hopefully I'll be doing the rest of this season. As I say, people who have already watched past episode 1, please don't post any spoilers in the comments, because I want to be just as surprised as everyone else is about what happens. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have a good day. See you later. Bye.